Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls.
What's up, Rebels? This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, the interview. I'm Taya Diggs, and today we're talking to Friederike Fabritius. She read us the story of Daniela Schiller. It's really interesting, so definitely check it out. Hi, Friederike. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Friederike Fabritius. I'm a neuroscientist and I'm an author of a book called The Leading Brain. And I basically study how the brain works.
So you're a neuroscientist. What does that mean?
I think many of the reasons of why people behave the way they do can be found in their brain. If we understand how the brain works, we understand a lot more about people and what makes them tick. Neuroscience is basically about understanding different areas of the brain. So very often I talk about different parts of the brain where different functions are stored. For example, at our prefrontal cortex, we do mostly rational thinking. So if you do your school homework and you have to think really hard at a math problem, that you do with your prefrontal cortex. And then we have other brain areas, for example, the limbic system, and that's where emotions are stored. Basically, in the head, we can say every thought process and every activity has a place.
You read us the story of Daniela Schiller. What did you think of her story?
What really struck me with Daniela is that she has found something that's truly useful for people. It's really something that can change the lives of many, many people for the better. And in a world that's full of fear and trauma and bad experiences, that is truly powerful.
It really is. So how can we keep our own brains healthy, especially if we're dealing with some big things?
One easy thing I can tell you that always helps to lift your mood and your well-being, and that's really good for your brain, is to exercise. We know that exercise is not just good for your body, it has a tremendously positive impact on your brain as well. So it's really important the moment you move and you move your body, you get all these endorphins and dopamine and, all these chemicals that jump around in your brain and they make you feel better instantly. Try to not spend your time too much in front of a screen, and that could be difficult, of course, with virtual learning, and you want to do that. But then in the afternoon, take some time to really just be in the moment.
Friederike, if you could go back and give yourself some advice when you were my age, what would you say?
As a kid, I was very lonely, actually. I think I would have loved to know that actually when I grow up, I will find people who are similar to myself. I would tell myself, school might suck, life might be difficult, but then at the end, there's light at the tunnel. I wish I would have known that back when I was lonely in school.
Okay, last question. What makes you a rebel girl?
Oh, don't get me started. Well, I think it's the fact that I love to think for myself. So, if the media tell me a story, I'm always thinking who knows if that is true? And then I go and check the facts for myself, statistics. I'm very curious and I always check twice. And I don't always necessarily agree with the common idea of how you should think. And I think that really makes me a rebel.
Thank you, Friederike. And thank you for listening. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and share it with all of your friends. Stay tuned and stay rebel.